we literally spend $35 a lead in our local market to get somebody in. That's $35 times 2,500, $87,500.
If you knew the sense of collecting your emails back when you were averaging your 100 views, and even if you just got 2 to 3 leads of video, how much like more also with your videos would you have been like, this is great. I don't care if it's only 100 views. I'm getting 3 to 4 leads.
And I think the time investment is lower. Like, really, you think about that video, that the one I went off, right? It was like 5 minutes and it took me 20 minutes to edit, right? And maybe, so you're looking at maybe an hour max. And that's generated me potentially $87,000 worth. It's just mind blowing, right?
I'm super excited today because we've got an amazing story to share with you. Gavin, coming to you from, where are you from now? Where are we tuning in from today?
Auckland in New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
we're like today it's 4:30 here for me. For you, I believe you said it's like 8:30 in the morning. So
yeah,
it's Friday already where you are, right?
Friday.
Yeah, so you're already hitting the Friday. All right, enough of that. But what I did want to do here today, and we had talked about this, is you've been one of our more successful students in our class, the 1K Collective, and I want to walk people through, number one, how it wasn't really producing in the beginning and you just kept at it, right? Yeah. It's like you didn't give up. You just kept putting in the reps. We talk about putting in the swings or taking the swings, and you just kept swinging. And then all of a sudden you had a pretty amazing hit and has really elevated things. With that though, you're also now kind of thrown with all of this traffic and you're like, okay, now what do I do with it? So I want to fill people in. You're a brick and mortar fitness, outfit, and you help people locally. You're bringing it online, and now you've got the online traffic. Now we got to decide what we're going to do with it. So why don't you just give people a little bit of a backstory about you and as far as your business, but then also what you were doing before you joined the 1K Collective to get, to get those video views that you've been wanting to get.
Sure. So I became a personal trainer about 13 years ago, roughly, and I had my own weight loss journey. I'd lost 44 pounds essentially. I'd lost, and I've kept it off for like 16 years or so. So then I was actually a police officer as well. So I started doing personal training as a police officer, and it got to a point just before COVID where the gym started to become quite busy, and I was like, I need to make a change. So I left the police, took this thing on. So we serve with my business partner, who's a physiotherapist, and we serve people over 40. So over a coffee many years ago, we decided that we realized that in the community, there wasn't enough people helping people over 40 have injuries, who are overweight, menopause, all that sort of stuff. So we thought, well, let's just create something like that. So it was a kind of an online program back then. And then we thought, well, maybe if we bring people into a gym environment, because everyone says the same thing, we don't feel comfortable in gyms, we don't like it. So we created that environment for people, which was fantastic. And over the course of that 10 years or so we've been running, I've been sort of doing YouTube, because you do a video, that should be a good video, and send it to your clients, right? And I tried it and didn't understand it properly, and it was like 1 view, 4 views, it's crazy. Then what happened just before Christmas, I had a video take off for no reason. It was literally a glute bridge video, and it took me to about 1,000 subscribers just before Christmas, just for no reason. It was 8 months old, and it just went off. And I thought, maybe I could potentially lean into that and start doing it. So I started doing videos. Then you guys popped up on my feed because you're searching for, how to do YouTube, whatever. And it was just, it was your style more than anything else that caught me. And then I started to do the things that you were teaching and whatnot. Then I decided to jump into your course. I will say I'm very skeptical about online courses, and it took me a lot of time to get that thing out. But it was cool when I did it. It made a lot of sense for me, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you joined our 1K Collective, and this is not a pitch for the 1K Collective. Actually, it's closed. You can't get in right now. We're not open to the public. We're actually doing more, I would say more group coaching now, but we still are offering that. That's a whole nother story. But what I want to really hit on here is you were putting up videos and they weren't getting crazy views. They were just doing okay. And how did that feel? I guess you're going through it, right? You're skeptical, and we've never said like, come in and we're going to automatically put a little bit of magic dust on it and things going to take off, because it doesn't happen for us. It's not going to happen for you. But it is all about consistency and the reps. Can you speak to that? Like, were you starting to doubt it again when you're like, I'm putting all this work in, I'm creating these videos, I'm not seeing the views? Like, what was your mindset there?
Yeah, it's just that, and like you often see in your group and stuff how keep taking swings, keep taking swings, and I think that's for like I have that in me. I think anyway, I'm always quite patient and I keep doing it, but it was super frustrating because what I did was before I jumped in your group, I found a video very similar what I wanted to create about knees. It went to 11,000 views. That was like 8 months ago, and I
Mhm.
never could replicate it, not once, and it was like 40 views, 60 views. And you guys kept talking about like, if you got a micro viral 1,000 views, that was your kind of benchmark. So what I had to do in my mind was I actually set my bar to 100 views. I thought if I get 100 views per video, then I'm successful. Because if you frame it in such a way that if you speak to 100 people, that's quite a big audience, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite comprehend the size of what could potentially happen if you get a video to go off. So I was just hitting it. Then it was getting 30 views, 40 views, 60 views, 100. I thought, well, I'm okay with 100. And the video that took off, I was actually really grumpy about the whole thing. I was in the gym. And I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm just going to do this thing. And I did it. And then all of a sudden, whoa! And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I said it. But it was just that. I think you 1 feet from gold, right? You just got to keep on doing it. Like, nothing worth having is ever easy. I think that's probably the key message, but it can be very frustrating,
It can be. And even to this day, it can be, because the minute you think you got it figured out, you don't. But I think you're in a very interesting space, right? You're in the fitness space, and uh, you are speaking to, and were you always catering to over 40?
But yeah, I was because our gym is over 40, right? So it was that. But the problem I had is like when you guys are doing YouTube, right? It seems to be so easy to fit YouTube in the title of every single
Mm,
video. But like when you're over 50 and over 40 or whatever, and you got like it could be weight loss, mobility, strength, it's really hard to consistently get, I think, a message and a title. So I think
mm,
I reached out to you guys ages ago and said, look, what do I just keep writing over 40 in every single title?
mm,
Will that signal the algorithm? Or and then you came down to content buckets and things like that. And what for me, what kind of happened was the strength videos started to do better than the weight loss videos. So I just
mm,
leaned into strength a little bit because the thing
mm,
is with strength training, I find that anyone can get strong, but not everyone can lose weight.
mm.
It's easier to get stronger if you just do 20 squats a day, like 3 times a week. You're gonna get
Sure.
strong legs. So I
Yeah.
lent into the strength. I think it was easier to apply for people. They can just do that, and that's what seemed to get the most views as well. So that's kind of where I went. But yeah,
Yeah. So again, I want to really underscore, like, number one, you were already kind of like sub niche down, which
yeah,
is great. But then you were asking the question to us, like, do I stay there? Am I not reaching enough? Like,
yeah,
whatever. And then I think the message you were saying was like, thinking about, I've got 100 people in a room right now
mm,
that are over 40 that are
mm,
having this issue. Like,
yeah,
what would that be like?
mm,
And I think once you shift that thinking to be like, oh, wow, like that's a pretty large amount of people that are
mm,
interested in this thing. Um, I think it's interesting though that you said that you were kind of grumpy going into that video. Like, I've
yeah,
been there, right? It's like you're just like not grumpy in a sense. You're just like, I'm frustrated. I'm not getting the views I want to get, and I'm just going to do this. It's just going to be like another video that I did. It's just going to be the same thing.
yeah,
And then you're not. And here's the thing though, you might not even have been as prepared, right? You're just like, I'm just going to do it. I mean, one of our best ones was me in the Jeep one day, and I had my cleaners here or something. I couldn't do it in my office. So I was a little annoyed by that. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go in the Jeep and just shoot the video because I
mm,
want to stay consistent. And
yeah,
boom, that video gets 100,000 views. It's like, oh, okay. I'm glad I pushed myself. Um, but I also want to lean into, like, you identified what was working.
mm,
And I think for a lot of people, and Scotty, you might even be able to talk about this because you
Mhm.
actually lean into this quite a bit, is like, when you find something, you have to test a whole bunch of things. That's
mm,
a given. But once you find something, when you're looking at your analytics, you're like,
mm,
oh, that one got 150 views, the other one's got 75 views. Maybe I
mm,
should do more of the others.
yeah.
Scotty, what do you want to say to that? I know you've got some thoughts on.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% behind you on that, and I think Gavin, I think you did a great job of kind of identifying that, because I think the hard thing with a lot of people is like in general, if you're looking at like general content, it's hard for people to be like, oh, what works, what doesn't. Like for this channel, it works for them. I mean, we've done that all the time. We look at other channels, and we might be like, oh, this works for them. And then we put on our channel, it doesn't work. Right.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to what is the audience that you're getting pushed out to? What are they liking that you are putting out, not someone else is putting out? And so for you, you did have to put a bunch of videos up. And I mean, you can probably even assess what you had, like the videos that you said were more strength training. I mean, I know you probably had one or two that kind of went microviral, and I'm saying before the one that kind of blew up, but they probably weren't too much more, but they were just a little bit more than the other ones, I'm assuming, right? And so that's something that we even look at, like, and I think not enough people look at is a video might get 500 views rather than their average of 100, but they don't look at it like that's 400 extra views. Why did that happen? Instead they're like, oh, great, still not 1,000, it's still whatever. And they just kind of disengage it, right? Like, I think they need to focus on that strength. And in another example of you doing this, which I'm glad you did this, I just looked at your channel and I saw that your most recent video is almost duplicate of the other one.
Yeah.
And what happened? Right now it's getting 400 views an hour.
Yeah.
Right. So you found a system. Now you're going to kind of go behind it and kind of find angles on that. But it was one part of it. And I think that's a great thing to too, is besides just the angle of over 40, you found another angle besides just over 40 training. It was the strength training of over 40, right? Like it could have been the recovery of training over 40. Like you had to find whatever it was. And a lot of people would be like, oh, that's too niche down. A lot of these, gurus out there, they're like, oh, you got to be more broad. You got to talk broad, but you actually niche down like 2 levels. So that it's even, a lot of people would go against that, but obviously we're not. And I think the other thing to say too, while I'm talking about this, Gavin, is like, I think you made a great point of your benchmark of 100. And I think that's a great way to start. In full transparency, on our pivot right now, our line is 500. We're trying to stay above 500 views. That's it right now. It was 1,000 for the other content. Now it's this. We're like 500 because we know the benefits behind it, which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit, and what you're starting to do now as far as getting more online clients coming in.
Yeah. So, okay, I want this to be also a coaching session, because I've got, like, once you had all that, like, number one, I started going through like what you were doing with the traffic. Right. And I'm like, okay, Gavin, we gotta level up. Okay. So number one, I think messy action is better than no action. So I'm a big fan of, like, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to put a Google Doc up and I'm going to collect emails that way. And then the crazy thing is, so let's just give some people some numbers. Okay. That video right now, as it sits, it's over 350,000 views, right?
378. Yeah.
378. Yeah. Massive.
Yeah. 378. How many views per hour is that thing still getting?
I don't know off the top of my head. But it is, I don't know what it is per hour, but it's going up a lot. Let me just see if I can find it.
Looks like 230. That's what I can see from views or from
230 views an hour still. How old is that video right now?
Couple of weeks, isn't it? 2 weeks or something?
Couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it's a couple of weeks, and it's still bringing in that traffic. Now, the crazy thing is the one thing that we teach is putting your lead magnet mention in there, and you didn't do that, right? You didn't do that in this one, right? So if we could go back in time, we would implement that, but that's okay. You were just like frustrated that this video is only going to get 100 views anyway. I don't care, like, I'm just going to do it, right? And then you do it, and then you're like, oh my gosh. So then you pin the comment, and then you put it in the description at the top, like we talk about. And because of that, how many email subscribers are you at right now? And it, not necessarily just from that video, but like now that your video is kind of taken off.
Yeah, so we're up 2,500 leads, and they get about 50 leads a day in a minute, and it's just like crazy. And it's,
and like we said, if you would have had, now we can do the whole if thing, but if you would have had that call to action in the video, like, oh, by the way, guys, if you want to download this, whatever, just go and put, strength or put muscle in the, or fit or whatever. And then people would have been able to comment. How many comments has that video got right now? That's gotta be insane.
100, 500 or something.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I just want people to realize here too, that what we're talking about is, number one, Gavin is in a very, very competitive niche, the fitness niche. He went really narrow with over 40. And then he's leaning into strength. And he's now collecting emails. The thing is Gavin, you run a brick and mortar business. You do a
Yeah.
little bit of online that you've done when we had the whole, pandemic thing happen. Uh, is the online thing where you're headed? Do you want to do that too?
Yeah, because when I first started my PT business, I wanted to be online training. That's kind of what I wanted to do, and I didn't have any experience, obviously. So it just, it was easier to deal with people locally, and whatever else. And because internet marketing is very difficult, I think that's what it
Mhm.
is. And over
Yeah.
the years, I've learned sales. I've learned Facebook ads. I've learned how to, do consultation and sales calls. So I think I'm in a good position now, moving forward, better than I was.
Mhm.
And what I think I want to do is take this as a secondary kind of thing, because the gym is pumping, we're doing Facebook ads, all that sort of stuff, and whatever. And this thing is going to be because I've got a business partner, so this will be kind of my thing, I think, to take it over.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, well, if you can learn a skill like this is such an amazing thing to be able to learn and know and implement.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's such a
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. So, okay. So let's go through the, funnel as it's known for online. So people hit the video, uh, from the video, they go either in the description or they go in the pinned comment and they find the link to download. And what are they downloading?
So it's just a free PDF for a strength workout. So it's a very similar structure I use for beginners in our physical facility, and I know it works. And pretty much anyone can do it. You don't need to
Okay.
have any experience. So there's videos and stuff, and talks about reps and sets. So it's very simple, like 2-page
Okay.
PDF. That does it.
Okay. And so when that was happening, and I think this is how it was happening, is you created a Google form,
Mm. Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Very, very, and I'll just say it was a very ugly form, but sometimes ugly converts better,
Yeah,
because it's simple. It was just a Google form. Like I think it was even purple or something, right? It was
yeah,
like
it's
their
good,
default
yeah.
purple, put your name and email address in to get it. And you were still getting a pretty darn good conversion. And so when that would happen now, correct me if I'm wrong, you had to manually send them the thing.
Yeah, I was sending 300 emails from my Gmail account, just going, hey team, boom, off you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you since then imported those into a CRM of any kind?
Yeah, I have. I've done it all now, and I've set up all the sequences and stuff to go through. So
Okay.
actually, what I'm doing, I'm still using the Google form, if I'm honest with you, because there's something in that Google form that I still want to keep, and that is, what other problems do you have? So I've got
Mm.
2,000 answers now of other problems, so that's going to help me. And it's like, it's whatever, it's working. But I have created another landing page, so when I start doing new videos, I'm going to put the landing page in, and it'll,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because you can still have them enter that in. I would do it where because I would probably bet that your conversion would be even a slight bit higher if they didn't have to put that in. Now, you didn't probably require it where it had to be, right? There's probably that thing that says you have to, so they could bypass that. But what I would do is I would do the email, name and email, and then on the next page, I would have another form that would say, "Hey, maybe even like 3 or 4 different questions. Be like, are you between 40 and 50, 50 and 60, 60 plus? You know what I mean? And then you can start to segment that way. Again,
Mhm.
I wouldn't make it too lengthy.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, and this is what we do, is we literally, now you're doing it where you're collecting it and you're getting them in a form, which I'm a big fan of. So I would not change that. I'd probably just put that on another page.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just so when they go to the thank you page, it would then have it be there.
Okay.
Um, but what we're always doing is on that very first email, it's basically like it's Scott, and then it'll say your download, right? And then inside of that email, it'll be like, hey, here's your download. Hope you enjoy it. And you know, hit reply and let me know what your number one struggle is right now.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get that back and forth that way. And what that also does is now it creates a connection between you and that person inside of your email program. So now it's going to be more likely to hit their inbox and not their promotions tab or their spam tab.
Mhm.
So that's a big
Oh,
thing to
great.
do
Okay.
there is
Gotcha.
we always do like we call it a naked email where it's got very minimal thing. It doesn't have any graphics. It has like your emails you're sending right now, because I'm getting them now because I'm on your list because I signed up through your form. Your emails are great. They're short, they're punchy. But here's something that I want to see you implement if you want to have online sales. Okay. Like if you want to make money, I'm going to help you make some money right now. All right. So in that email, in every PS, you have something that's kind of like a little cheeky, a little funny, right? It's cute, right? But what I'd rather see down there is like, hey, if you'd like to get help, or if you'd like to get a personalized plan to help you reach your fitness goals, hit reply and let me know. And then you can now say, hey, this is what I offer. I do Zoom meetings. I do 4 a month for this much money, or I do, a free 15-minute assessment. And then you can get on a call. And this way, now it's going to come down to your time. So like, if you're going to do like a Zoom, like online coaching, now you have to determine, okay, what's my availability look like? Now, I don't think that's scalable, but eventually that is where you could charge a premium for that. Like, you could literally charge a premium for that, because people would get customized plan tailored to them, because you're going to intake all of their stuff, just like you do in your gym. Right. And then you're going to be like, oh, and you can text me, like you give them a text, but that would be premium. I'm talking like premium, like and it might be for people that are over a certain amount of income. I just saw, I said this to you the other day, Scotty. I think you and I were watching, or we were looking at a video, but an ad came up on it. And it was a guy that was, he's in a suit, but he was like really built well. And he goes, if you make $150,000 or more, and you're, in a high profile job, and you just hate taking your shirt off because the way your stomach looks, I got something for you. So he immediately said, if you're making $150,000 plus per year, and you don't like taking your shirt off at the pool, I can help you. So what he did there was he said, you're making 6 figures. So he knows they're making 6 figures. And then from there, he's like, okay, so now he knows he's going to probably charge that person $1,000, $2,000, or maybe a $3,000 one-time fee to customize the plan and give him a 6-month plan or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So there is ways to do that. But it's really going to come down to, what can you offer right now? Again, messy action is like, I'd throw up something that says you'll do like a Zoom call, and maybe you charge $100. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get people that'll want you to do it. It's like I had said the other day on the call, we did a group coaching call for free to coaches and course creators. And, I basically said to him, I said, you're here so I can share with you everything I know about this, of what we did. But I know some of you are going to want us to help you, and you're going to pay a premium for that. And that's how it works. So it's like, if you can get out there and help people and get that conversation started in an online, like back and forth, people are going to be like, how much do you charge? Can you coach me?
Yeah, I've had 2 of those already, and I've signed 2 people up already this week already. So one in Chicago, one in Australia. So it's been very interesting. Yeah.
Now, how did they just probably reached out just randomly?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I love your stuff. Do you do coaching?
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine if you put that little PS in the bio, in your PS down there, and you say, oh, if you're looking for customized workout plans and a diet plan, hit reply for personal coaching info.
Yeah, sure.
And literally, you will have people do that.
I've actually done a landing page, and some of the new emails you're going to get will have that in there. And what I've done is created just a little sales page for a consult, which costs $97 in there, because I don't want to be having like, I do tons of sales calls at the gym like all the time. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to just like, hey, listen, if you want a consultation, we do the $97. I'll tell you everything you need to know. And if you want to continue working with me, then we can do that. So that's going to be, you're going to see that coming up shortly.
Perfect. Hopefully. Love it.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit ahead. That's awesome. And then I would say down the line is where then you would say, okay, what can I do at scale?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. And meaning then we're going to move into, okay, you're doing one-on-ones. Now, how do we do group?
Yeah.
Right. How do we move from doing the one-on-one stuff to group? And then your one-on-one stuff is going to get increased.
Yeah.
And then you're going to then say, okay, group, I can do, I can do this over here. And then you're able to now sell one to many versus it being where, and then that way there, you're like, oh, we're going to do a 6-week boot camp or a workshop, but I'm only going to take 20 people.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then from there, you're adding the scarcity to it. Like, we're starting on this date. So that's not false scarcity. That's real.
Yeah.
And then you're going to then let people know, like, I'm only taking 20 because we want to keep it small and intimate. And it's going to be whatever. It's going to be $497, and you're going to be able to get direct access to me for 6 weeks. Sure. Right. Yeah. And then you're talking $500, 20 people, you're talking 10 grand. Right. Yeah, and it's 6 weeks. And then you're going to show up maybe once a week, and then you're going to have pre-done stuff, kind of like we did with the 1K Collective, right? We taught it once live, and then we recorded everything, and then we broke it up into chunks, so that way there it's easy to digest. And then we did our live calls when we had our live group. But then what we did is we added a component where we'll do like a bi-weekly call as part of it. So that's how you can scale that. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. I think putting the one-on-one thing in there first and getting the demand built up. But I think your next step is to do a group like 6-week sprint.
Yeah, I love the idea of that. That's one of the questions I was going to ask you is like how to implement that. So I think because like I love the way you set the whole thing up. It's fantastic. It was literally like an online course, and you guys, I guess, input was quite low. It was like once every fortnight. And the other thing I liked about what you were doing as well is that you didn't have a live call back and forth. You just asked questions and you went through the questions. So I'm guessing it streamlines the way you were delivering it, which is obviously really smart. So I love the whole concept of the whole thing. So I could do something easily, I think, with fitness.
Very, very easily. And I would keep it bare bones as far as like tech. So like we just use StreamYard. That's all we used. You can use Zoom, whatever you want to use. And what I would do is I'd pre-sell it. That's what I do every single time. Every single time. And the reason why is because years ago I got burnt. I built a program, took me 4.5, 5 weeks. I built it. It was awesome. I tried selling it. And I sold like 3. You know what I mean? And it was like, I thought the market, I was in the photography space at the time. And I'm like, oh, they're going to want this. And I built it and they didn't want it. So everything I did after that, I always got pre-sales. And if I didn't sell enough, then I would just refund them. It never happened after that, which was kind of weird. It happened the one time that I put all the time and effort into building the program. But after that, whenever I would pre-sell something, and I mean pre-sell, it was like, it wasn't like, will you buy or are you interested? It's like, that's step 1 to kind of test the water to go. And you probably notice, like we do that all the time. I'm thinking about doing this, or should we do this? And then you open it up and you're like, hey, it's Gavin. I'm thinking about doing a 6-week boot camp where I'm going to be focusing on strength and conditioning and mobility. And it's going to be only 20 minutes a day or, for 4 days a week. And then we're going to have one live call every single week where you get to ask questions with me and I'll actually look at your diet and blah, 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 blah. Right. Yeah. Is this something that you'd be interested in attending? There is going to be a price to it, but I'm going to try to keep it under $200.
Yeah.
Right. And then you wait for the replies. And then you're like, oh, cool. We got 100 yeses. Okay. That's good, but they didn't pay me yet.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm in, I'll do it. Yeah. Under $200. Yeah, I'm in. And then you go, okay, cool. Here it is. Here's the checkout. Give me your money. Yeah. And they're like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time. Right. Then we have excuses because honestly, it's not about the money. It's usually about the commitment of the time that they'd have to put into it. So that's where you actually see the real people that are willing to do it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean the people that are ready to commit to whatever you have to offer. So I would say, and again, if I'm going to give you and again, I think you have access to the 10K launch bonus program that we gave out. So I would go through that because that gives my emails and everything that I sent out for that. But to keep it really simple, Gavin, I would say, okay, what am I thinking about doing? And I would map that out. Okay, I'm going to start with 6 weeks. It's going to be a boot camp. We're going to meet once a week, but then I'm going to give them maybe 2 or 3, training videos that are going to be 5 to 7 minutes long. And that's it. Right. And you say that that's what you're going to do. Then you basically send out that email and it says, I'm thinking about fill in the blank, and then list out what you're going to be, and don't list out like all of the things. List out what they're going to get. What's the transformation that they're going to get? Not necessarily, you're going to get 4 videos. You're going to get, like 3 audios, and you're going to get, a private group. They don't care about that. They care about the transformation. So it's like, from day 1, we're going to start here. By day, whatever, in 6 weeks, you're going to be here. And this is how we're going to get you there. So, you're going to have my support and everything. And then I would just detail that out and say, that's what I'm thinking about doing. If I get at least 20 people to raise their hand, I'll consider doing it. Mm-hmm. And then you wait for the emails to come in. And then from those, you're going to decide, okay, I'm going to take 20 people and I got 100 replies or 50 replies, whatever you want to do. And then from there, that's when I would say, okay. And I would tease it. Probably I would say, well, okay, the response is great. Within like an hour, I had 10 responses already. And so far we have 55 people that said that they're in. If you missed the email, this is what we're doing. Let me know. And then you'll get another response of people. And then I would say, we're going to open it up on, this date for ticket sales. And then you give them the hard deadline of when it's going to start. And that's when the tickets are going to be sold up to, the process. You've been through my emails, you've been part of it. And then from there, we close the doors at, midnight. We close the doors. And then after that, you're going to get people that go, oh, I missed it. I was on vacation. I didn't see the emails. I'm like, I'm sorry, but maybe next time you can get in. And I literally close the doors. And that's intentional, because we don't want people to go like, oh, no, they'll just let you in. Don't worry about it. Right.
Yeah.
So you do close it, or you say, I'm going to sell 20 spots. And if you sell 20 spots, you're sold out.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden it shows, oh boy, next time I better get in quicker because he sells out.
That's what happened to me when I got into your course. Exactly the same thing. I was like,
oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was so skeptical the first time I saw it. I was like, nah. And then I saw a few results. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, so it worked on you. So that it works, right?
Yeah.
And that some people are going to be skeptical. So that's where, again, our first beta group, we're like, we have to get people results so we can share them. And even if they're micro wins, right? It's like, oh, someone was getting 100 views and now they're getting 300 views. Cool. That's a win. So you still have to highlight that stuff. And I really do believe that your people will, they'll sell the next program for you because of the results.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, even like you're a poster child now for us, right? It's like, oh, did you hear about Gavin? He was struggling, he wasn't getting views. He's in a competitive market. And now look at him, look what he's doing. Now he got this many leads and this, that, and the other. Right. So, once you get a few case studies, and again, before and afters in your world is like gold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your next move would be that, but I think you're in a great position to do a boot camp or a work, a sprint with people and say, this is what's going to happen, and put it out there and see what kind of replies you get. And then it's just a matter of like delivering on that, which isn't really hard because this stuff.
Yeah, that'll be very simple to do. Because the thing is, after that, then, I mean, I guess you guys do this anyway. You do launches, you do like these 6-week boot camp things. Like afterwards, then, like, what would maybe a continuity look like? Have you done that stuff before? Or
yeah. No,
Yeah.
you would. The way that I always like to do that is you bolt on the continuity. So you bolt on the recurring thing. That's going to be something that's going to serve them on a regular basis for that support. Okay. So it might be like, oh, join the continuity, and you wouldn't call it continuity. You say, join the club, and you're going to get, a month or a bi-weekly call with me. Right. You'll get, any questions you have will get answered, within 24 hours. We're also going to do, a monthly, training, or a monthly, whatever your thing is. You would detail that out, but you have to think to yourself, why would someone want to stay part of it? And really, it's going to be coming down to like getting the results, but also wanting you to be able to give them feedback, or for you to be able to be there as their accountability. But then once you build that community, the community is going to be the thing that they're going to stay for.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, once you have those people that you're connecting with, I mean, my wife's a big example of this. Like, she belongs to some, women over 50 groups and stuff. And once she kind of finds her group, it's like, it's hard to leave because there's so many people in there that are just giving like valuable information, and it's not even the creator anymore.
Yeah.
So, but I wouldn't put that in there yet. I wouldn't worry about the continuity yet. What I would do is I'd want to do my first step for you would be, I'm going to do a 6-week workshop, or not a workshop for you. Would be like a boot camp or something, right?
Gotcha.
Or a sprint. And I would say, we are going to get results. Like, this is all about getting you results, and it's getting you dialed in. So this way here, if you've been on, if you've been on the start, stop train for a while, we're going to get you to do this and consistently do it. And we're also going to be able to get it so that way there you can continue to do it after, and not, kind of be like at, after the first of the year where everybody gets on and then they get off.
Sure.
So I would start there. I wouldn't try to think too hard about like, okay, what's next, the continuity. Because I also think then those little mini boot camps, they can also lead people into being like a private client of yours.
Yeah.
Right. And then eventually that's going to, because now all of a sudden it's like, okay, do a boot camp. And let's say you're charging $97, 100, $200, like whatever it is. You're like doing this boot camp. And then all of a sudden it's like, I really love the way Gavin teaches or he instructs. Man, I want to be part of it. And then they reach out. Can I, I mean, we've got people right now, like we're doing, we're doing another beta group, which we're pre-selling, by the way. We're following this. It's just a higher ticket. We have people that are joining. We're only going to take 10. But we have people that went through the 1K collective that are now part of this.
Yeah.
They want to be part of this because they're like, I love the 1K collective. It was great. It was 4 weeks long, but I want to do this because I get to work with you closer. And we're also building something a little bit different. We're going to be building their flywheel to get leads and to, really build that system, work on their lead magnet, work on their landing pages, work on everything to convert higher, talk about offers, things like that. But the 1K collective got them started. And now they're like, I want more, but I want to be more in a smaller group with you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's how they can graduate,
Yeah. And now too, even with that, like we also now are going to be like, we have an application process. So like we have people like trying to, send an application to see if they're best fit for with us right now or not. And if they're not at the time, we have the 1K collective where we can say, hey, to catch you up to speed, here's the 1K collective. This will help you kind of get through all those basic stuff. So that way we can start working with you on a different level as far as like coaching and online business side of it. Right. So like we also have that in our back pocket too, which even though we're not opening it to like the public, it's like a huge opening. It's like if someone comes in, they're not a good fit for us, we can say, hey, we're going to send you to this. So now we have another thing that's there. And then back to Dad, what you were saying with like the recurring and stuff. With us, with the 1K collective too, if once we got into the Facebook page, the Creators Video Lab, that originally wasn't going to happen either. The reason we even opened that up was because we were getting so many people in the group saying, hey, can we do a community? And then once we did the community, they said, can we keep the community going? They were the one, like you got, or whoever the beta was. I don't think you were in the beta, but whoever was in the beta, they wanted that to continue. So that's when we sat down, talked about it, and then ended up doing it. So the other thing is, understand what was it that your people liked in your beta group or whatever, or what want to see more of. Get some ideas from them, and then they're gonna pretty much give you the answers of what they want because they went through it.
Yeah.
No, very cool.
Yeah. I mean, again, like sometimes your audience will tell you what they want, right? And it's like, then it's a matter of you to give it to them. Now, with that being said, things can change. Like, right, we thought the 1K collective, we were gonna build that up and kind of grow that, but then we realized that's not really the audience that we want to serve. We want to serve at a higher level. And so now we're actually in the process of talking through the Creators Video Lab. Like, we don't know, are we going to keep it going? Are we going to shut that down? It's a really low ticket because once you get in, it's a certain price, but it's low and we're giving a ton of value. Scotty and I were getting on there and so we're like, we might need to shift, right? So it's okay to shift. But all those assets that you're creating, Gavin, those are also really cool things that you have in your back pocket that you can give as a bonus now, right? Like, let's say that you do a boot camp and you're like, yeah, you could sell it on a regular basis if you want to, or you can use that as a bonus if you do something else and you're like, and I'm going to give you this bonus, which we charge $200 for. I'm going to give it to you. So that way you can get started before we actually do whatever. Or if you have a community, you're like, oh, if you join the community, we're also going to throw in the boot camp. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with those as assets.
I want to say too, I think for you, Gavin, in the fitness space, I think something you should look into more of is even just like those challenges. Challenge style, those are huge. I see so many fitness, influencers, any of those people, they do a lot of these challenges. And actually, Dad, Alexis was telling me, my sister was telling me about one that she saw or whatever, and this lady's making like 40 to 50K a month, and she's only doing it through Instagram. I don't even know how she's doing it through Instagram, but
Right.
anyway, and it's just it's like a membership that she's doing
Mm.
for this. Well, first she's starting it as a challenge, and then after that she has her
Yeah.
If you want to
continuous
continue.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, it's like those challenges, especially in the fitness space, like people want to complete the challenge and they want to go along with it. And
Yeah.
it's also a way to get them into your space where it can be a little bit of a lower ticket. And then you can still, when they're like, oh, this was great, I want more from Gavin. Now they reach out for the personal one-on-ones or if you eventually have that flagship, that, higher ticketed, work with you, whatever thing you have, then now they're more, interested in doing that.
Mm. No, that's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say though, to kind of like wrap this up with a nice little bow is I would not overcomplicate it right now. And I would keep it simple, because it's real easy once you get this kind of momentum to go, okay, I'm going to release a program. I'm going to release another program. I'm going to do a little workshop. I'm going to do a boot camp. I'm going to do one-on-ones. And then all of a sudden you're like all over the place. Trust me, I've done it. I know it. So even right now in our business, I'm keeping things as simple as possible. Like, I do not want to have 50 different programs. And because with that comes logistical nightmares, right? Someone buys something, I can't get access to it. How do I get in? I lost my login, like all of those things happen. And then you have multiple products. So I would try to streamline it. It starts with, to me, like your consults, I think are great, because that's pretty straightforward. It also sets you up to where you give people the kind of like the plan, and then they're like, oh, will you help me implement it? And you're like, well, yeah, it's, whatever, however much a month. Right. So that's an easy thing. I mean, even for us, right, we've even talked about that. Like for us to do an audit for someone, right, we look at their channel. Now we would do an audit for their business as far as getting leads and stuff too. And it's like, if I sit down with you and I poke holes in all of these different areas that we can fix to make it better, and I tell you, this is how you do it, and I just kind of riff through it, just like we did right now. Like I'm kind of spewing a whole bunch of stuff. And then there's going to be someone that's like, Scott, that sounded amazing. Can you help me implement all that?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if you do a coaching call, or if you do a, whatever, an intake call, you help people, they're going to be naturally inclined to say, hey, do you do one-on-ones? Because I need help implementing this thing now.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say the one-on-one stuff graduated to a one-on-one ongoing. And then I would say, to try to do like a challenge or a boot camp of some kind, and pre-sell it.
Yeah.
And pre-sell it. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Amazing.
any other questions, or did we just give you everything that we got?
Yeah, I think you just consolidated, I think, what I kind of needed to hear, I think, because like, you see all these things going on, and I think the simplification of it, to the consults, this will lead to that, that'll lead to that. I think that's fantastic. Because I think my email list is they're only going through like 12 emails so far anyway. So they've got about 20. I've actually given them 30 emails to go through every single day, just to give myself some breathing space. And then I'll start obviously bulk and asking people once they get through it. Because the open rates are fantastic as well. They're like 40% open rates right now. Which is
wow.
Really,
that's great.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now that was the other thing I would say too, is, and this would be interesting. So you're automating these emails now. You have them in like a sequence, and they're on so it'd be a little bit hard to do this, but what we usually do, we have a very short welcome sequence. We have like, maybe if you come in on our hooks guide, I think you have 6 emails.
Right.
And then I think if you come in on the 100K, we have 3 or 4.
Right.
And then after that, they get dumped into the main list, because we're sending emails Monday, Wednesday, Friday, generally.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for years, even on my other brand that I was running for 10 years. I would do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the reason why is because Monday I would send the email. Tuesday I would send to the unopens.
Right.
And then Wednesday I would send another email. Thursday unopens, Friday email, Saturday unopens, Sunday off.
Gotcha.
And I'm telling you right now, if you take that email that got 40% and you send to the unopens within 24 hours, you're going to get another 10 to 15%.
Right. Okay. I like to look how to do that.
Okay, and those people, like, you'd be amazed. You're like, why would I do that? And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I thought we were done. Like, as far as like when we're doing a promotion, especially, we're doing that. And you're like, oh, wow. Like, we got sales from that second unopened or the non-opened emails. we would have never sent that. Yes, we could have sent one the next day and they might have gotten it, but this way here, you don't bother the people a second time that already opened the email.
Yeah, sure. Do you know what I think? What you just said something just then. Like, I think the level of work that needs to happen in the background around this stuff is actually way higher than you think. So you're saying, you got 5-6 days a week of sending emails, right? And so I think that stuff, a lot of people need to reset their expectations of what actually the work in the background is, because it's huge. So the next question I have for you really is like, no, so okay, you got titles, hooks for videos, right? How are you creating titles for your emails? Is it the same process, or like how are you doing it? How do you come up with ideas for that many emails?
Yeah, it's a little different of a process. Because I've written a lot of emails over the years, I've got a bunch that I kind of default to. But a
Gotcha.
lot of times I will honestly look at an email that was sent to me by someone that I am subscribed to. And if it got my attention, I'll be like, oh, damn, that was a good subject line. I'm going to tailor that to mine. Right.
Right.
So it's almost
Same process.
like, and it's in it maybe in a totally different niche, and it's kind of like the same thing, like what got my attention in an email that got me to open. So, and I think also a lot of times I don't try to go too long because it'll get truncated on mobile. So,
Yeah.
and I also, a lot of times you'll notice I use a question.
Yeah.
So like the other day I sent one, it said like 100K to 1 mil question mark. So it's kind of like 100K to 100 or to a million kind of question mark. And then it was like, this is crazy or something
Yeah.
like that. Right. So it's like the curiosity piece is, this is crazy. So for yours, it could be something like, this one exercise, this one exercise, that'll get you shredded. Right.
Yeah.
Or if you're talking gurus, it could be like, these gurus are lying about weight loss.
Yeah.
Like that's going to get an open.
Sure.
So a lot of times it's just curiosity based, very similar to a title, but we're not really dealing with an algorithm. We're dealing with a person actually opening it and
Yeah.
reading and scanning.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's more of like the thumbnail that we're creating. It's very similar to that. It's a scanning thing. Because think about yourself. If you get into in your inbox in the morning, and if you cleaned it out the night before, you've got about 10, 15, 20 emails, and you're just scrolling. You're like, yeah. You look at the name, and then you look at what they sent, and then you're like, it's a click or it's not.
Yeah, sure. Gotcha.
So yeah, it takes a little bit of work, but I would say keep them shorter, use questions when you can. And if you're running a launch, just use the ones that I gave you inside of the 10K launch, and they'll work really good, because I've recycled them for probably 15 years, and they've done, probably not exaggerating, several millions of dollars in sales from those emails. So those emails, that's why I said in that 10K launch, which people are going to be listening going like, how do I get my hands on that? Right now, we're not offering it for sale. It might be a bonus down the line, but I gave it to our 1K collective people. But I said I could have sold that for 10 grand, because it's like generated so much, and that sequence works so well, because it's like it's the lead up to your open, then it's during the open, and then it's like the close. So there's like 3 phases to that open and close, and it works. So I wouldn't fret away from that. I would stay with it. Like, again, it's like things like deadline, right? Like that's always the one I'm going to use on the last day.
Yeah.
And it says deadline, and then it says tonight, and it's like, once people are in your world, they know it's from you. They're looking at it like, what's a deadline tonight? Right. Or it's someone going like, oh crap, that's right, I wanted to get that, I forgot. And then they go get it. So it's like, some of those things are pretty basic, but they work. They're simple. But I think you're going to learn, just like you do with the videos. You're going to learn what works for your audience, what gets a good open rate.
Yeah, that's cool. I was gonna say as well, when they got all these emails come through, right? And one thing, I don't know if you guys think, like, oh, if I send them an email, they're gonna unsubscribe now. You know what I mean? So
It's
I
okay.
think, yeah, that's okay. I mean, do you get many like a big volume of unsubscribes, or the majority of people stay on? Like, how does
it's actually, it's like a slow thing, right? It's like, I'll send an email, like, let's just say I sent one out today, and we went out to 11,200 people. I think that's what's on our list currently. And we might get like 5 unsubscribes, maybe 7, but I'm just like, okay, well, it's helping us clean our list, because if you didn't get that, you would want to clean your list of like, who's not opening, who doesn't want to get your stuff, which you still want to do periodically. But I would say, if you send more emails like you are, that is going to weed out people. I had a lady the other day. She goes, Scott, I love your stuff, but I just can't get like an email every day. And I'm like, well, I don't think I'm sending an email every day, but you might be someone that signed up for one of the lead magnets. You're getting that and you're getting the other. Now I could have went in and got really sophisticated and I could have said, don't let these people get my broadcast messages until they're through the sequence. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to send emails. And I said to her, I said, well, I'm sorry, you can always unsubscribe. And, I hate to see you go. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I'll decide. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. It's like, I'm not going to beg you to stay on my list. Right. And I'm not going to make it where I can't send when I want to send, because I'm not sending sales emails all the time. I'm sending like you're not even sending sales emails right now. You're just sending like, do this if you got backaches, do these glute exercises, like if you get mad because I'm sending you too many of those, then go. It's like you just can't take it personal.
Yeah, sure. No, that's cool. That makes sense.
And when you do sales emails, you will get unsubscribes. You'll get more unsubscribes. Oh, this person's just trying to sell. Man, they're trying to sell me. Look at that. It's 30 email. It's like, that's okay. So I wouldn't worry about that. That is a big fear that a lot of people face. So like, oh, what if they unsubscribe? I don't want to send them. Well, all the people that would have bought aren't going to be able to buy, so you got to think about it that way. Anything else before we settle down here and send you off on your way? You've got a day ahead of you. We got a day in the books.
Day in the books. Yeah. So no, I think it's been a mindset shift for me. So when I've been doing videos in the past, and I think it's probably relevant for a lot of people as well, is that I've just this last week realized that those videos you put out, they're not for views' sake, they're not for anything else. They're literally to get leads into your business. That is it. And the thing that's really opened my eyes this week. Today I woke up this morning, that video that Scott just mentioned has gone off again. But I'm now getting leads from videos 6 months ago that when I was following you and I saw what you did, you comment something at the end of the collect, the lunchtime collectors, those things, like now they're getting comments. And now other videos I said, oh, comment strength, you want to think, like they were never working before, but now they are. And I think what you said earlier on about creating the videos are the assets that you have. And as long as you put a call to action in, so as you do lots and lots and lots of them, people will start. And that is the actual intention of the video. It's not the video, it's not the views. It's literally to get leads in your business. I think that's my shift right now, which has been quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I think I love how you said too, like that one video got that momentum going and now you've got other videos that are being lifted.
Yeah.
And those assets are starting to pay off. It's like a library. And I just heard this the other day from the content CEO or the search discovery, whatever, the CEO of YouTube. And he basically said, like, we have to remember these videos that you're creating. It's a library of videos. Yeah. And it's not like Instagram. It's not like LinkedIn. It's not like any of the other platforms where once it's out of the feed, it's pretty much gone. Someone would have to go into your profile and then go into your page and literally scroll. But your videos are constantly, like YouTube is constantly going to be, I get recommended videos that are 5 years old. Like once I start looking into something, I start getting videos that are 5 years old from a creator because it was something that they had that they thought that I would be interested in. Right. So we have to look at it like, these assets live out there until we delete them.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's pretty powerful.
It is. And like, I know you mentioned on some of the videos, like the Facebook ad thing, like that to me has been the biggest profound thing. Like 2,000 leads, right? Or 2,500 leads. And we literally spend $35 a lead in our local market to get somebody in. It actually costs us $500 to acquire a customer at our gym, right? Because we're like more premium coaching stuff. So we obviously upsell. We charge everyone $500 as soon as they walk in the door for the month, right? But that's $35 times 2,500. Like I don't know the math top of my head, but that's hundreds of thousands of dollars on leads. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy, and that'll probably be a soundbite. So thank you for that.
You need to fill in the maths bit because it's like let me just work it out. Is it? You got a calculator out. So it's 2,500 times 35, $87,500 worth of leads.
Incredible.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I think too, going off of that and kind of backtracking a little bit, if you knew the sense of collecting your emails back when you were averaging your 100 views, and even if you just got 2 to 3 leads of video, how much like more also with your videos would you have been like, this is great. I don't care if it's only 100 views. I'm getting 3 to
Yeah.
4 leads,
I know.
right?
I know.
So I think
Yeah.
that's also another, mind shift for a lot of people, especially our, online coaches and businesses. Like 100 views don't matter. That is a way you can collect leads organically without paying, like you would be
Yeah.
paying, $35 a lead. Even if
Yeah.
it's only 3 to 5 a video, that's great. And then, like you said, 6 months later, that video could just take off.
Yeah. And I think the time investment is lower. Like, really, you think about that video, that the one I went off, right? It was like 5 minutes and it took me 20 minutes to edit, right? And maybe,
Mhm.
so you're looking at maybe an hour max. And that's
Yeah.
generated me potentially $87,000 worth. It's just mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
Mind
Yeah.
blowing.
Absolutely crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin, this has been amazing. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do it. And yeah, we're going to be paying close attention, obviously, because I know that you're going to be extracting quite a bit of money here out of your
Yeah.
channel and out of your list in a good way. Cause you're going to be, I mean, let's face it here. Like people think about like what we're doing. Some people do anyway, like making money is kind of like evil. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's actually, we're able to impact people. And the way that I look at it is we were able to come into your life and help you in a small way. And now you get to reach more people with what you can help them with, and then help people lose 100 pounds, let's say, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's that ripple effect. And I think if people would think about it that way versus like, it's just about making money. Yeah, we want to make money, but it's also about like we get to impact more people if we can help you and other people like you. So I just want to say thank you for being a good sport and showing up and sharing everything with you. So so if anybody wants to get in shape and they're over 40, where do they go, Gavin?
Hit me up, man. Just Fit Life Over 40 on YouTube, and I'll see you there. Download a guide. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. All right. Any last little words before we wrap this up officially here, Gavin?
No, I just big thanks to you guys. Really, like, it's been fantastic. You've seen your journey as well, documenting everything and all the research you put out. So yeah, thanks from me. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, awesome, man. And we are going to be keeping a close eye on you, and obviously we'll be helping you along the way. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. And as always, take care, take action, and we'll see you guys around.